Greetings and welcome back to another episode of The Bit Between. Today we have the first ever in real life podcast episode with the one and only Nic Anderson AKA Youngchickenpox.
Yes, sir.
How's it going, bro?
It's going fantastic. This is really exciting. This is crazy being here.
Yeah, we are. In case you don't know, we are currently in New York City in America. I'm in the US for the first time, and we decided what better time to do an IRL podcast episode.
Yeah. Right, an hour before I'm about to leave.
Yeah, basically. So we've actually already spent about an hour in this podcast studio trying to figure out how to set it up.
But we got it all figured out, hopefully. Hopefully afterwards it's all good.
Yeah, it should be good. Okay, so, Nick, how's life? What have you been up to recently?
Pretty good. I feel like I should do an introduction again because, although it's like we did a podcast a year ago online, people don't know me. I got a lot of new followers, a lot more followers now.
Okay.
We did the first, if you don't know, first time we did the podcast, I had like 2,000 followers. Now, currently, I'm sitting at 31,000. Crazy. Crazy. But anyways, my name's Nic Anderson AKA Youngchickenpox. I've been making clothes for around 3 years. I started my brand 2 years ago. And then, now I'm here. I've been just making clothes, all handmade stuff, and then I got into manufacturing, but a lot of it's handmade still. And then I've been just living life. I don't really know what to say. Yeah.
So around about a year ago, just under that, Nick hit me up on Instagram, and he was just in my like random message requests, and he was like, "Yo, do you wanna try and do a podcast?" And I was like, "Who the hell is this guy, bro?"
Some random little brand.
Yeah.
Just because I saw that Jack Pythia interview. And he was an inspiration at the start, and then I saw that, and I was like, "Bro, I'm trying to be like that. I'm trying to get on the podcast."
Yeah. So after that, I left the message in the message requests for like a few days because I didn't know if I wanted to do it or not because I had no idea who this guy was. And then eventually I was like, "Okay, we'll give it a go. We'll give him a chance, and we'll see what it ends up being like." And now, long story short, we are in New York together, staying together, and exploring New York City. So
yeah. It's been really good. How's it been for you coming to the U.S. for the first time?
It's been strange because obviously, like as you know, we've kind of both made a lot of online friends, and this was my first opportunity to see a lot of those online friends in person. So seeing people like in person is very different to seeing them online, but it's also
Definitely.
But it's also so similar.
Yeah,
because like me and you, we get along so well already. So when we met each other in person, it was just like nothing had happened. It was just like the same, like a FaceTime, but extended, like nonstop, in a good way.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's been weird, but it's been really positive.
I mean, going from a village to one of the biggest cities in America, huge change. A village where
a village with 30 people.
With 30 people.
It's been refreshing though. Seeing what like a big city has to offer has been super nice. What do you think of New York now that you've been here?
Bro, New York is crazy. There's so many people. Like Portland is a city, and that was my biggest broad view of a city. And then coming here, I realized what a big city is like.
Yeah. No
No matter what time it is, there's always people moving. There's so many people. I've been doing a lot of people watching. It's interesting just seeing I'm having like a lot of Sonder moments where I'm just like looking at people. I'm just like, wow, they have like their whole own lives, their own career, their whole own like thing. They're the main character. I'm the side character just walking around. And to see like hundreds of people pass by me, I'm just like, wow, this is insane. But I love it here. I mean, we talked about moving here, and after you mentioned that, I was like, I was talking with my uncle the other day, and I was just like, I think I'm gonna move here. Like I whenever I leave home, I always want to go back home.
Right.
But being here, I miss home, but I could see myself being here for a really long time. And I haven't visited any of the fabric store. We haven't done as much fashion stuff, but I've honestly been cool with that. And the fact that we haven't done fashion stuff and I'm still enjoying all my time here.
That shows something, doesn't it?
It does show something.
Yeah.
There's,
so you've never really been to a city before?
Well, I've been to Vancouver, Canada.
But you never
BC.
fallen in love with the city the same as this.
Yes, no, because in Canada or in Vancouver, BC, it's huge. I would say it's similar to size in this, but people-wise, it's not as many people walking down back and forth. Not as many interesting people.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen it. We've talked to so many random people, so many fun, really cool people that I was like, if I was here for a while, I'd probably want to like, ask for their number and see what they're up to and kick it with them.
You got one person's number. Let's not go into that one. Okay?
Yeah, we got one person. Oh, I got like 5 people's
Yeah.
number. At Alex's. Remember I showed you my phone?
Yeah.
I got multiple people's numbers.
So let's kind of get back onto Young Chickenpox and kind of your growth over the last 1 year, because like you said before, you had 2,000 followers when you hit me up to begin with, and now you have 30,000. And within that journey, there's been a huge difference in the amount of people you can reach, the amount of people seeing your art, the amount of money you're making. Like everything has been completely different. So kind of talk about the progress that there's been in that last year and what you've learned and everything that's been happening.
So much. That was a very condensed question.
Yeah.
I would say that there's just been a huge perspective change, because at the time, at 2,000 followers, you're all about hustling and you're just like, I need to grow and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I've gotten to the point where I got my audience. I have pretty loyal followers, I would say. I've had conversations with a lot of them. And I'm still hustling, but I realize I'm slowing down on my posts. I'm slowing down on my releases because I want to continue evolving. I've been doing the same things. You do the same thing, like, oh, I take a picture, outside my house on the ground, or I go to a warehouse that I work at. I work at a sewing shop, and I'll use the cement ground and take pictures there. But now I'm getting to the point where I'm like, I want to do more conceptually big drops. Rent out a studio, hire a photographer. Have my vision in my head like come to life, like in full conceptual reality.
Okay.
That's kind of tough to
but what was stopping you doing that, like when you had 2,000 followers, and what's stopping you do that now?
Well, it's more just getting outside the comfort zone. You get so comfortable, you're like so used to taking pictures, and people love those pictures. Like I said, the warehouse, I take my pictures there. People love that. They've grown me a lot, but like, you get tired of doing the same thing over and over again. You want to do something more. And I would say the main thing stopping me is myself, because I'm like, I have to step outside my comfort zone again. And that's something that's really hard for me. I mean, even starting my brand at first, I wanted to start my brand 2 years before that, and I'd just make clothes for myself. But to step out my comfort zone, COVID had to happen, where I was completely isolated alone, and I was like, I had to start my brand because that was like the only thing I was doing, and I was like, it just seemed like a must. But where I'm at, it's like I'm able to make a living, but if I wanted to just keep doing the thing where I take pictures wherever and post those, I could keep doing that. But it's more just like a self thing where I'm like, I need to do this, but I don't know exactly what to do. And to throw myself in it is sometimes really hard for me, And
I think on a side note, like, you've seen the benefits of you having that clothing brand and you kind of going forth with it this trip a lot. The amount of people who have complimented not only just your fashion sense, but your clothes that you have actually made. You've been wearing hats that you've made, tops and jeans and whatever, like, and people have been saying, yo, where'd you get that from? And you're like, I made it myself.
Made that, yeah. Bro, one of the best compliments I got was like, you look like you're from New York. You look like you're a New York fashion artist. And I was like, really? Thanks. Like, yeah. Yeah. It's those pants. It's those flare pants. People love those flare pants. But, yeah. it is really crazy seeing like the love people give me and all that stuff.
How does it? Because I've never made clothes yet.
Yes. After going to those fashion stores.
I know, right? Just for on a side note, we went to like a few big fashion stores like Acne Studios. There's this Henrik Vipsov. I don't know.
Yeah,
like
some Russian brand.
A bunch of like random fashion you know that word. Stores.
Oriented.
Yeah, that's the one. And it kind of made me think to myself, like, I'm not really a fashion type of guy, but when I saw like the cool pieces all put together, when I saw people's designs, people's like completely different fits of a t-shirt, like it kind of made me think to myself, like, I think I would like to try and go down the clothes route. But anyway, when you see somebody who's wearing a piece of yours, or you see somebody that really enjoys seeing what you make, or they own your stuff, like, how does that actually make you feel? Can you put that into words?
It's really hard. It's like, it's really euphoric because like I was talking with the guy at that one shop, the CHCM.
Yeah.
And seeing someone outside wearing your clothes, it was like they woke up that morning and they were like, I'm gonna put this on. Like that's the one that stood out. And then being able to walk down the street and see him, like the guy wearing the hat in Portland. I was just driving through my city. I was at like 10,000 followers, and then I just made those rhinestone hats, and I pull up at a stop sign, look to my left, and there's just a guy rocking the hat, and I was just like, is that my hat? I rolled down the window. I'm like, yo, what's up? And he's like, yo. And that was like one of the craziest things is, he just knew me he didn't even know me. And he just bought the hat, chose to wear that hat. And I was able to see that. And it's one of the most exciting things because, the reason why I make clothes is because it gives me confidence because I feel like there's something that doesn't exist that I can see. And I'm like, I want to bring that to the world because I think it's dope. And that brings me confidence. So the fact that other people are able to wear my clothes and be confident in it and feel like it's part of who they are, it's like their personal style is really dope because it built me confidence, and to see other confident people wearing it, very dope feeling, you know? How about the same thing, like 3D videos, like, when someone hits you up for that, what is that like for you?
I mean, it's cool. It's cool, like, that somebody feels like my art is good enough for them. Like, that validation's always nice.
Mm-hmm.
I think the problem is that, like, a lot of people, they don't understand how much work goes into this sort of stuff.
That's facts.
That's probably the same with you as well. Like, they don't realize that creative stuff takes a lot of energy and a lot of time. Mm-hmm. And you're not just paying for the few days or the week or the few weeks that I'm spending on your project. You're paying for, like, the entire knowledge that I've acquired through doing this for a few years now.
Yeah. I saw a Picasso thing. I think it was Picasso. Like, it was just like a little short story. It was like a lady walked up to Picasso and was like, oh, I really love your work. Can you like do a sketch of me? Does like a 15-minute sketch, and it's like, oh, it's like a couple $1,000 or a really expensive price at the time. And she's like, why was that much? And she was like, this is 15 years of work.
Yeah.
It took 10 minutes, but this is 15 years or 20, 30, whatever, how many years it was of work put into this because of the knowledge that I've grown over the time.
Another good analogy. So you go to a mechanic, right? And let's say you've got a dent in your car,
mm-hmm.
and you go to the mechanic and say, "Yo, please, can you fix this dent?" And he goes, "Yeah, it'll be $100." And then you go, "Okay, go ahead." He then goes underneath the car, grabs a hammer, and goes ding, and the dent is just completely gone. Happy days.
Yeah.
Right. And then he comes under. He says, "Give me $100, please." And then you're like, "Wait, how is it? Why is it $100? All you did is hit it with a hammer."
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, "Okay, well, I charged you 1 penny for the labor cost of doing this, but then I charged you the rest for knowing where to hit."
Yeah. Like, you go try to do that at home. You didn't know how to do it. Exactly. That's why you came to me.
You obviously know how to use a hammer.
Yeah.
But you don't know how to hit the hammer and where to hit it. And, there's so much more that goes into it than you think. It's not just labor. It's not just time. It's everything else that's beyond it. And that's why I think it's good that you started when you did, but imagine you started 2 years earlier than that. Like, how much further would you be? Because it almost compound interests, You've
mm-hmm.
got so much more time for you to learn stuff, which then just goes into the more stuff, because experience is like the biggest teacher, right? Like, this experience that we've had, like, over the past 5 days in New York, like, there's very few things that can teach you and, like, really grow you more than just doing stuff.
Definitely.
Right? And even if it's not related to what you're interested in.
100%. I mean, going to all the stores here, seeing what everyone else is wearing. My dad actually told me that, or asked me that. He's like, is this like an enjoyment trip or is this a business trip? I was like, it's a little bit of both because, I want to see Sab. He's my friend. So it is enjoyment, but it is business because I'm going to be experiencing stuff and get inspired here. And I've gotten inspired here. I have so many ideas for when I get back home. I have so many things I need to work on. And you saw me, I was on my iPad a little bit working on little things, but like, I want to experience New York. I don't want to be trapped up in the room working on this stuff because I'm only here for 5 days.
And I think when you're here, you understand why so many artists, like, from New York or around New York, you understand why their art is like this. For example, Alec, his work, have you seen his work before on Instagram or not?
Yes. I followed him like 2 days ago.
He builds those huge cities and he has all that. And, like, I think the reason for that is because he lives in New York, and like even though it's more Japanese inspired, you can see the inspiration when you walk around. You're like, oh, I understand why this person thinks and does the way that they do, because their surroundings is a big part of that. What's going on in there every day, the busyness.
Yes, their environment. Yeah, and I've been trying to work on that. I mean, like choosing my environment, because obviously your environment makes you. So like, there's a lot of friends from high school that I haven't talked to in a really long time, and the reason I haven't talked to them is because I felt like, you know, I was taking a different path than them. If I kept kicking with them, you know, they're my environment. They're not doing the same thing I am, you know, and that takes away from clothing. So that's why I see myself surrounded by more creative people a lot, because I choose to talk with them, because I want to be surrounded around that. It's not to say I like left all my friends behind or anything, you know. I still have so many homies. I mean, you've seen like they'll call me all the time. I'll call them, and it's super dope to have that balance. But even they're doing creative stuff, and sometimes it's even to like just take a break. Like sometimes I've been thinking about clothes too much, get in my head, and I just need a time to just hang out with them and just talk about random stuff, not even related to clothes.
Yeah.
And even that, I mean, we could go, like me and my friend Abby, love Abby so much. We go bowling every Sunday, you know. We don't talk about, I mean, we sometimes talk about clothes, but even that, I've gotten inspired by the bowling area, you know. It's just like, I'm going on a tangent, I'm getting lost in it. But it's just, I choose my environment. I want to be around certain people. I mean, being here with you, super creative person you are. Everyone here, everyone in that Discord, it's been amazing just seeing all the different types of people and knowing they're all creative in their own way. It inspires me to work harder and because I'm surrounded by creative people.
Yeah, and I think two things here. One, to relate on like the whole thing about having different friends. You kind of need to have that. You kind of, like, I have that as well. I have my IRL friends who are very different to my online or to my creative friends. Like,
well, do they do creative stuff?
Not really, no. Like, one of them's like, they're both at university and they're both studying like maths or economics, and they're very brainy, but they're really funny, and you can have a good time with them. But they're a different type of friend to the ones like you. Like, I wouldn't talk to them in the same way that I talk to you, but it's good to have different people.
Wait, what do you mean by that? I'm just wondering.
Like, you're hilarious, but
thank you.
And you're really funny.
Thank you. You as well.
And you're really creative, and like the mixture of those two together makes us relate on like a different level, because we kind of understand the same grind. Like,
yes.
We'll talk about this later, but we both kind of got to that point where our careers were progressing faster than we thought at the same time, and so having somebody in common that you can talk about that stuff with is great. But then also, it's good to have different friends like your friend Abby or my friends, like, who are completely unrelated to work and unrelated to, you know, your hustle, that you can just go and do other things with, because they'll give you a different perspective. They'll give you a different, like, type of experience being with them.
Definitely. And I feel like that just goes back to, like, just hobbies. Like, you can't just completely do one thing. Like, you can't just be all clothing, all 3D, all blendering, you know, because you get burnt out with that. That's why you need the bowling on some days, or you need to go out in the city and do stuff. It's like,
you need to have fun.
You need to have fun. And not saying clothing or 3D isn't fun. It's just you get tired of it. Doing the same thing is just not fun.
So how has it been then? Because we both have kind of had this experience. How's it been how do I rephrase this? What's it been like having had your passion project turn into your main source of making money?
Oh, that's a great question. It has been very stressful. It's been a big shift, because you start thinking about things rather from just pure passion, from like, you have to start thinking business side of things, and you have to do taxes. I had to do taxes. I paid a lot in taxes last year, and I was just like, wow, I have to do all this other stuff, and it kind of takes away from it. And then you get stressed sometimes because you're like, oh, I need to make the hottest thing, and then you kind of gravitate toward the trends, and then it takes away from the whole reason why you started the brand. And I've felt myself get lost in that. There's been a lot of moments where I just get in my head and I'm like, I need to work. I don't know what to work on. And whenever I get to those spots, I just need to take a step back and just like not do any clothes. And I found myself recently coming back to that headspace of just pure passion. And I realized like what people want is what I want. I've said this in the past a lot. And it's still really hard because like the metaphor I was saying, like thought processes are like sledding down a hill with grooves in it. I heard this from a Joe Rogan podcast. but they're like grooves in the snow, and it's like one thought leads to another thought, and it's just like a bunch of grooves going down a hill. And the more you think like that, the harder those get cemented in your head. So when you get into a creative block, it's really hard to get out of it because those grooves, like idea, then you make a mock-up for it, then you choose colors, then you do all this stuff. It's like those grooves are so deeply rooted in your head, but they all lead down to the same thing where it's, this design sucks. I'm in a creative block. So to get off of that groove is really hard. And I found it through meditation and other sources. but but meditation is crazy because like it sounds so cliche, but to actually just like meditate, like take a deep breath and realize how present you are, it's just it allows you to look at your life, like look at those grooves and be like, why do I think like that? I wonder if there's a different path to take. You feel me?
Yeah. I mean, I've not been meditating anywhere near as much as I should, but
Bro,
I've had those experiences.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I try to meditate a lot, but there's a lot of moments where I go through my day-to-day and I'm just like, I don't have time to meditate, even though it's 15 minutes. And then every time I choose to meditate, I'm like, wow, thank
amazing.
goodness I did that.
I don't know why we're built like that. Why we're built in a way where it's like so difficult for us to do the things that we know are good for us, like reading, meditating, exercising.
It's comfort because it's easier to be sad than it is to be happy. That's what I believe. Do you feel me?
Well, I don't know if I completely agree with the statement, but I understand it's easier to sit on your phone and just scroll for 15 minutes than it is to like put the phone away and meditate.
Yeah. No, 100%. That's what I'm referring to. Because your phone's a drug. It just pumps dopamine in your head. Yeah. And that's why TikTok is so dangerous, you know? I have 70,000 followers on TikTok, but I had to delete TikTok because I was getting addicted to TikTok.
Yeah.
Because it knows what you want. 6-second videos. It's constant content, constant like things that you like, curated just for you. All that stuff.
And it's weird. It turns you into a bit of a zombie because you're just like, it's doom scrolling, right? You just keep on going and going and going. And I've found myself in those holes like way too many times, bro. Mm-hmm. And it just makes you feel worse about yourself as well.
Yeah. Have you found your way out of those holes?
I mean, sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm just like, right. I have this. I think I got it from some random minimalist YouTuber, but like the 5-second rule is pretty good. You just basically go like, I am going to stop this within the next 5 seconds. Otherwise, I am not going to stop this at all. Mm-hmm. And if you just stop, then you're like, all right, what's next? But the only problem is when you don't stop, then it's like,
then you keep going.
You just keep going. So it kind of works.
Yeah.
But
one of the things I've been doing, I mean, we talked about this, is sitting with yourself, doing nothing for 15 minutes. Like, try it. You like will like turn off your phone and just sit there and just like close your eyes and just breathe. Just sit with yourself. And a lot of the times you'll just gravitate back to your phone. You're like, you'll open your eyes and grab your phone. It's just subconsciously like, oh, I'm not doing anything. Let me go grab it. That's why I've seen it a lot. I'll be having a conversation with someone and then we stop talking for like a second. And then instead of just like, you know, sitting in the side, they just grab their phone and just go instantly to Snapchat or Instagram.
No reason.
Yeah. And it's just like, damn. Like, just sit in the silence, enjoy the company.
And it's just about being present. You always see those memes where it's like the dudes when the girls finally pull up to the party and they're just there scrolling through the weather app, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
that happens all the time. And we have this comfort device here
Mm-hmm.
that just makes life easier, but doesn't make life better in all circumstances. You have to think of your phone, in my opinion, as a tool. I know we're sounding like boomers right now, and we're sounding like we hate technology, but you have to think of it as a tool,
Mm-hmm.
and just don't let it control the tool. Don't let it control you.
Yeah.
Bars.
Facts. Facts.
You're gonna be hitting us with a freestyle, Nick?
Bro, later on we'll do the outro. The
Okay.
freestyle.
Let me
That is
just-
a lot of things. You know what? I'm happy you mentioned that. I did. So if you don't know, I really wanted to be a rapper. Very cliche. But like freshman year, that was my creative outlet. I would like write lyrics. I have a whole shoebox full of them. And if you look at my iPhone notes, it's like whole songs from like.
Can we
years
can we
ago.
pull some of the lyrics up? Okay, let me start the camera out and then we can pull it up.
All right, let's pull it up.
Go ahead, give us some 14-year-old Nick bars, or
14 years. I actually have a song.
I mean, do you want to rap it right now? Should I give you a beep?
Nah, let me I'm gonna play the song. It's on Apple Music. I'm not gonna say the name of it because I don't want people knowing. But
Okay. And when was this made?
this was made sophomore year. My friend Henry, who still makes music to this day, we used to be in his basement. He had like the snowball microphone.
Snowball.
Yeah, the little circle one, and we'd just be rapping into it. We had one of these, and we'd just be like spitting bars into it. But I was always self-conscious. I realized like that's the reason why I never got anywhere with music. It's because I was always too scared to rap, and I'd always be too scared what people thought of me. So that's why I kind of stopped making music. I kind of like fell out of love with that. But then that's why I started making clothes, and I found more confidence in clothes. And then during quarantine, that's when I started. So all right, I found this song.
Bruh.
I don't know if it's gonna record it, but okay. So the song, what's the song called?
I don't want to say it. It's called 80. You won't be able to find it because it's like, should I just skip to my part?
Been listening to Mask and we crazy, yo.
is
It's
you?
only 10,
this is my
but we
friend.
lived our
This is me.
life.
These are summer vibes for a summer night and a summer drive. To summarize, these are best days to be alive. Cruising around late at night with your friends in back trucks, smoking massive blunts all at once during elastic stunts and fantastic puns. I guess we all just pass the folks.
It's 80, yo, but we in the Bible.
Okay.
That's my part. I said smoking massive blunts. I didn't smoke at the time. That was completely cap. But anyways, that was like the one song I recorded. I have like 3 more, but I never released them anywhere, and they're just sitting there. But I forgot why I started talking about this. Oh yeah, freestyling. Because even to this day, I just realized I was just like, I still enjoy freestyling. And it's interesting to me because I'll just be sitting in my car listening to like Joey Badass. I'll be listening to like Joey Badass or something, and then I'm like, I want to freestyle, and I'll just put a Joey Badass type beat on and just freestyle in the car alone. And it always interests me because I'm like, I do that every day. And I was like, other people don't even like think about that. So I always wonder what goes on in other people's heads. Like,
During
during the day,
cartoons?
because
Okay.
like I'll literally spend like that's a hobby of mine, freestyling. Me and my brother freestyle all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm sad he's moving to Chicago, but just came to my head. But yeah, we freestyle all the time, and it's just something I still enjoy. And hopefully someday I'll be able to get into it, but I might just keep it as a hobby. But
Do you think you would ever seriously consider music again?
yes, I want to incorporate it somehow, but I have to get good at it first. Like in my eyes, I haven't put the work in.
Okay.
So I've always thought like one day I'd be able to make an album, and then since I make clothes, I'll be able to make my own merch, and have the merch be like the main focus, and have like the music be like the side focus.
Right.
That'd always be super dope. But that's not something that I want to do right now because I want to just focus on clothes and current collections that I'm doing. But it's just a future thought, future goal. What are your future goals?
I think this trip has kind of helped me realize that a little bit more. I think one of my future goals is to explore the world even more. Like, I would love to just have the freedom and the bread to be able to just go anywhere and everywhere and not even have to worry about it. Like, having seen how people live here, having seen like the lifestyle of like the friends that I've made online, and I kind of wish that I'm not gonna say wish. I want to be able to just go like with you to Paris and Hunter, and be able to like the week afterwards just go see what life is like in Kenya and go climb a mountain, and then just
what's
have
stopping
like a
you
more.
from that?
I think at the moment it's just money.
It's just money.
Yeah, because I've kind of been on like a weird I hate money wave.
I hate money?
I hate.
Oh, you hate money.
Yeah, it's just annoying to have to.
I did a poll like that on my story. A lot of people said they hated money.
Well, it's just
love
annoying that you.
I love making money.
No, it's just annoying to have to like, in order to be the only species on this planet where we have to make money to live. It's like.
Yeah. It's so weird because like, you know, back in the day they used to just be like, if they made clothes, it's like, I trade clothes for rice. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, now it's just money, and money is such a big issue. And I've realized, like, I had this euphoric moment where I was just, I was sitting down and I was just so stressed. I would call it a mini ego death, not to be like, I don't know, I don't want to be
Jaden Smith vibes.
Yeah, I don't want. Yeah, let's talk about the political economic state of the world. No, but I just realized it was just like all these stressors are just like manufactured, like money stress, all this stuff. It's all like future thinking. It's just, it stresses you out for no reason. It takes away from the present, living in the present. And I've realized, like, you know, these words might like touch somebody differently than how I feel when I say it. But the only thing that matters is you're okay, your family's okay, and your friends are okay, are healthy, and all that stuff. That's all that matters. All that other stress will be figured out. And if something's stressing you, then start working towards it. Because that's another thing that, I mean, both of us probably have dealt with, is we have this stress and we're like, oh, I'll figure it out later. Like taxes. I didn't do my, I was thinking about taxes for 6 months before taxes were like due. And I was always so stressed and it was always in the back of my mind taking up headspace. And then 2 weeks before taxes were due, I'm like, okay, I need to do taxes. So then I did taxes, and then all the stress was relieved. 6 months of stress, just like that. I was like, dang, I should have got this figured out earlier. But for some reason, I just didn't. And it took up headspace. All that, after doing that and clearing that headspace, I felt like, it's like all of a sudden, all these new thoughts started coming in my head. And it allowed for more creativity, more positive thoughts. Less stress, you know?
Yeah, I feel like we be worrying. We're like, we worry for no reason, don't we? We catastrophize things just as humans. So, and getting stuff done like sooner rather than later, it helps so much.
Mm-hmm.
And like, for example, booking my flights to come to New York, I booked it like for ages. You know, I was like on the fence and I wasn't doing it. Doing it. One day I just decided, like back in February, it's July now. I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it now. I'm just going to do it today, or I'm not going to do it at all. The same thing. And I was just like, yep, I'm going to book it. Called a couple of my friends on FaceTime with them whilst I was booking it, and I was over the moon. But
yeah. No, like, yeah, bro, you got
months,
me.
bro.
Yeah,
for months. I was literally just, oh my God, I have to go to New York. There's Airbnb.
I need
food.
to figure out my money.
Yeah,
this
all
stuff.
of these things.
Yeah.
You have to get to the point where you just get it over and done with.
Bro, no, and dead ass, if you didn't like push me to come to New York, I wouldn't have came. Because you saw, like, for a month I was delaying this ticket. And then finally one day, remember, we were on that FaceTime call, and I was like, all right, I'm going to book it.
Yeah.
I just got to do it. And I 100% don't regret it.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to do what you know is right.
Mm-hmm.
Trust that intuition.
Well, sometimes you don't even know it's right. Like, I probably could have stayed at home and, like, been fine still.
No,
but
there must have been something telling you to book it.
Oh, yeah. Because I want
Other than me.
Yeah. Well, it's because, you know, like I said earlier, like, I remember 6th grade watching Vine. It was like a soccer goal. Like, it was like a video about a guy scoring a goal. It was a stupid montage thing. And it had Juice by Chance the Rapper in it. And it was just like, I got the juice. And then it like came in. Do you know that song?
No.
It's a beautiful song. And then I remember going on YouTube and looking up the music video. And he's like, nighttime in Times Square, and he's just like rapping it seems so free and all that stuff. I remember being just infatuated by that. And then now, like that's what got me into rap. But then now to be here in New York and be able to go to Times Square and to see the spots he like recorded all stuff, I was like, wow, that's where he was.
Yeah.
So it was definitely where it's like there was a lot of incentive to go to New York, and then plus like meeting you, it made sense. But there was still something in my head that was just like, $700 plane ticket.
Yeah.
I could spend that on samples or something. Like a lot of like doubting things, but I'm super happy I did it. That I stepped outside my comfort zone for that.
Yeah, that's a big thing, man. The comfort zone. Don't stay in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's so comforting, obviously, but
Obviously,
that was horrendous.
yeah,
It's comforting, but you have to find ways to get out of it because, like I said before, this is how you grow. This is how you like learn more about yourself. Like I have been to a few big cities. I went to Amsterdam. I've been to London. I've been to New York recently. I went to a couple of other big cities in the Netherlands, and having been there, I now have learned that I need to be in a big city. And whilst I'm young, I need to have the hustle and bustle. I need to have people around me and things to do, places to go, people to see. I want that so badly.
definitely.
And
Well, it's really cool that you found that, because a lot of people will have those wants and then never even like go out to try it.
yeah,
Stay in the comfort zone.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows of those people from high school who just like stayed in their hometown for like ever and they never went anywhere. And no hate to them if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Go ahead, but like,
Well, I mean, my friend Roddy, most content person ever. He was talking about his grandparents, how they've lived on a little farm their whole life, and they're content and happy. They didn't feel the need to go out. But if you like go out to big cities and travel, but if you feel that need, going out doing it's just two different lifestyles. It's just two different lifestyles, and people are different.
and I think as a young person, as a young outgoing person who wants to build their career, like you just gotta visit these big cities, man. You gotta
Yes,
see what's going on.
bro. Because seeing, like, referring back to the Chance video, seeing that and then going to Times Square is like you feel the energy. You feel everyone walking, or not feel. you
Whoa,
feel, no,
okay,
chill,
pause, bro,
chill,
pause,
chill.
bro.
You feel the energy.
911, what's your emergency?
Yeah. Well, okay. Well.
You feel like...
Well,
I know what
okay.
you mean.
I'm
You
referring
feel
to
the
this. What I'm thinking about right now is this Tyler the Creator interview. It was the one he did with Vans. It was like a week ago or something, and he was just saying like, "I love Paris," and it's just like the energy here is just unmatched. You see pictures of Paris, but to actually be in Paris and like feel the energy of places, like to be in New York, it's completely different. It's something you have to, or something that you have to experience to know what it's like.
Yeah.
You can't get that experience through any other way. And it's the same way with art, like bringing it back to art. That's what my goal is with clothes. It's like obviously make people confident, but also like I want to do like art exhibits in the future because I want to create an experience. I saw this on Netflix. It was a episode, what was it called? Abstract. And it was talking about how it was some light artist, and he was just saying like you create an ambience, like you create an ambience, you create an experience and a feeling, and then you also put purpose behind it to make people think about certain things. He made a sun with these, what are they called, sodium lights, which basically turns everything black and white, and it looked like a sun with like the ozone layer, like fog and all that stuff. And it's something where I saw pictures of it, but to be there, to like look at yourself, see it in black and white, and just like all that stuff, creating that feeling, that's like that's what I think the purpose of art is. And it's the same thing, like being in New York, it's a feeling that,
Yeah.
and all that stuff. What is that like in like Amsterdam and all this stuff? What is it like?
Dude, Amsterdam, well, the Netherlands as a country, like, it was the most friendly place I've ever been. Like, you just talk to people, and they seem so nice. Like, they're so loving, they're so welcoming, they'll help you out. Like, even the friends that I had there, like, they were taking us out, they were going to places.
Sorry, I try to get my phone out of the frame.
That's fine. They were taking us places, like, one of them was offering to take us lifts here and there, and, the family that I was staying with for like a while, they were like inviting me in to their home, and just the people, the culture of the people there is very, very beautiful. And then the city itself, like I know everybody talks about Amsterdam because of the weed and the red light district and all these things they're just like tourist attractions essentially. Like they just generate money, but the city itself and like the infrastructure, the way that I think it's just like it's difficult to describe in words, but when you're there, you just feel something. You feel like a chilled out way of life. There's like
It's just the energy there.
yeah, and it's the way that like everybody's happy to take the public transport. Everybody's happy to take a bike. There's barely any cars. There's no parking. Like it's a completely different type of city to anywhere else that I've been to, and I really did enjoy being there. It was again like when I got into New York for a few days, I felt the same feeling of like, I could live here. I could spend a lot of time here and enjoy myself and enjoy the.
There's so much to do here.
Yeah,
there's so much to do.
I mean, talking about New York again. Brent Fayez, that's how you say his name, right?
Fayez.
Brent Fayez, yeah.
Yeah.
Like we were just in outside some random shop yesterday, and there's a bunch of people huddling around, and basically Brent Fayez, he was doing some sort of performance for his new album that's coming out in a few days, just in the middle of New York, like out of nowhere. And these sort of events, like they're not the type of things that you get everywhere else. You have to be in a place like New York for these crazy things to happen. There was protests when we were at the Washington Square Park the other day. You met somebody who made clothes at Washington Square Park that I think you'd followed on Instagram before or something.
No, he followed me.
Oh, is that how it was?
Yeah,
is that how it was, right?
He said, he's like, you make clothes on TikTok. And I was like, yeah, I also just make clothes, but yeah, you know me from TikTok.
Yeah, I feel you. But just that connection and the events, like you have to be in a big city for that type of thing.
Definitely. I mean, look, in Portland, like sometimes people don't even like book tour dates there. That's sad. You know? Small city vibes.
Okay, dude. Well, we haven't got that much long.
I know. Left. It's super sad. I'm about to leave.
I know. You're going to be on the plane, ready to go home pretty soon. And also, we have to wrap up this podcast within the next 15 minutes. So, let's kind of wrap it up with some end questions, yeah?
Some end questions? Wait, can we talk about one more thing?
Okay, go ahead.
I want to talk about something because it's something I haven't really talked about because it's hard to talk about in my story, is like the biggest thing that I have found through clothing is like the idolization, insane. Like, it was just like, here, I'll just tell a story and then I'll give the example. I was able to go to Sway Lee's house and meet Sway Lee, and that was a crazy experience. And then, like, being there, talking with them, talking with Sway Lee, you just realize, like, these are just normal-ass people that just do creative things. They just do things. And it's been the biggest transition in my life because I've always idolized people. And I would get so nervous around these people, and I don't know what to say because I'm just so nervous because they all this stuff, and I get really anxious. But the idolization, you just need to recognize to everyone out there, like, everyone is just a normal person. Everyone is. I'm speaking to the camera because I'm speaking to the viewer. And no matter what, if you like someone's art, say you like their art, you know, just talk with them. If you know, or if you're walking down the street, you've seen it, like you've done it before. Like if you like someone's outfit, say you like their outfit, you make their day. Everyone's just a person, you know. Everyone likes to hear that, you know. Just keep spreading that and being positive, saying positive things, and then those positive things will come back to you. I kind of went on a little tangent again, but because there's just so many things I feel like I need to say on this podcast because, well, yeah, being anxious. I've always heard people say like, oh, anxiety, I have anxiety and all that stuff, and I never understood that. And then recently after COVID going back in the world, I realized like how much anxiety I have and how much anxiety other people have and how unnoticeable it is if you don't talk about it. You just have to talk about it, and talking about it is the best thing. When we were laying down in bed, or no, we had separate beds. When we were just like laying down talking, and then there's so much anxieties that came through one of the days, and I was just able to talk to you about it. It's like you talk about it and you're like, huh, that wasn't really there. And then it's like all this pressure has been relieved. And yeah, you just have to that's how I feel like you just have to talk about whatever's on your mind. And that's something I don't always do. But anyways, everyone's a person, and no matter who it is. and you just have to be yourself. If you make a joke that felt right at the time, and then the other person looks at you weird, don't put it on yourself like, oh, I'm weird. Put it on the other person, like, or not, don't put it on the other person, but it's just like, just be like, okay, well, that's just not my people. They didn't get the joke.
That's fair.
That's how you find your true friends.
Yeah, because we've been making the stupidest of
We've
jokes.
been making the stupidest jokes. We went to JBL store and we just did stupid shit. We walked in and we were like, oh, we need a speaker. And then we're like, oh, what's the cheapest speaker? And then it's like a $40 speaker. He starts playing the music and it's just like the bass. And then we went, and then we were biking the next day. And then we went back in the store and Sab was just like, let's go back in the store and like do the whole same thing. And it was the same exact worker. And then we went in. Wait, you tell the story.
Yeah, so basically we went in there. We saw it as the exact same guy. I was like, okay, we're gonna go in there. We're gonna prank him. We're gonna say almost the exact same stuff as what we did the other day, but we're gonna pretend like we have no idea like that we've been in here before. So we go in there. We're going to the JBL store. We find the smallest speaker that there is. We're talking about the twin speakers. And I'm like, yeah, so do you mind if you play it? Like, what does this one sound like? And he goes, oh, it'll be no different to what it sounded like on Saturday when you guys came in. And then I just went, excuse me, sorry? In like the most serious
and the most
thing.
serious.
And he just looked at the ground and he was just like, I mean, yeah, it's not like too different to the other one that's like $70. So I'll just play that one.
Act just playing it off.
Just
like
completely trying to play it off. And then me and Nick were just about to burst out laughing. We were about to like cry of laughter. So then I just slapped him on the shoulder and said, bro, I'm just playing with you. I'm just playing with you. And like the relief on his face when he was like, oh my God, I'm not going insane.
Yeah, like that stuff, like that is like, it's so small and minuscule, but that is so funny. Those are just like things that are just like so random. That's why I love like you to have the idea to do that. Like
new beginning.
Like just all these little stupid things. Yeah. And it's just being yourself. And like, because if like you start saying like new beginning to like some like, I don't know, other person, they might be like,
even on this podcast, they're going to think, why the hell are they saying new beginning? But it's just an inside joke, you know? Yeah. And you've got to find the people that you can be comfortable around and do stupid stuff together, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. But anyways, let's wrap it up.
Let's do the wrapping up. What would be one piece of advice for your younger self?
Do what I just said earlier, that was the biggest thing I always struggled with. Because I mean, I was in like groups of friends and I would be so stressed to go to a different group because I was like in the comfort zone, even though I wasn't like truly enjoying the time with them. So I feel like, I don't even know, because everything that my younger self did got me here, and I'm so happy to be where I am. So I wouldn't want to change anything, honestly. But if I were to give advice to people watching, I would say, be yourself. Oh, sounds so cliche, but literally do what you like, do what you enjoy, and keep doing. Don't think too much. Stop overthinking, because the more you think, the less doing you're doing, and doing is experience, and the more you experience is what makes life fun and interesting. And yeah, that's probably what I'd say. What would you say to that?
What would I say to my younger self?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. First, I just want to give him a hug, bro. I just want
to
dap him up, you know. No, I just want to give him a hug and make sure he knows that like everything will be fine. You know,
everything will be fine.
I think I'd want to tell him like that you'll eventually find your people. You'll eventually fit in somewhere. Because I feel like a lot of creative kids, or a lot of kids who grew up like I'm that Earl Sweatshirt line of like 2 black for the white kids, 2 white for the blacks. But same with me, but brown. You know, I'm like a coconut. You know, I'm brown on the outside, but I'm white on the inside. So, you know, it's been weird for me growing up. But I would give some comforting advice to my younger self and be like, you'll eventually find your right people. Just keep on doing your thing and keep on being good at school. You know, try and make good friends and just have fun. Enjoy life, because you know there's a lot of times I had a great childhood when it comes to like playing video games, playing outside. Like I had a great time. So there's not much. I'm in a similar position as you guys. I wouldn't want to change too much, but I just want to comfort my younger self and make him know that things will be okay.
Yeah, you gotta keep walking. Life just keeps going.
Just keep swimming in it.
Keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Yeah. I was referring to that Denzel Curry song.
Oh,
keep walking, I keep walking, I keep walking.
Okay, I was referring to Finding Dory. So
Finding Dory.
Well, Finding Nemo.
Yeah,
Dory,
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Okay, so you've had a lot of success. I mean, especially in the last year. You know, you've had some pretty big drops. I mean, we've talked loads of the success that you've been finding over the last year. How much of that success would you put down to hard work, and how much of that success would you put down to chance?
I still believe this to this day. You can work as hard as you can and find minimal success for years, but you just keep working hard, working hard and smart to put yourself in a position to be lucky. I've been very fortunate with where I am and how lucky I've gotten, but also I don't discount the hard work that I put into it. Like, for example, making the balaclavas. I didn't really wear balaclavas before I started making them, but I was like, seems fun. And then that became my staple piece for a while. Yeah. So it's just like, it was just such a stupid thing. It was such a random idea, and I just did it. And because I was just doing at the time and to this day, but I was just doing, and I was like, make balaclava, figure out how to make it. I didn't even know any tutorials. I just made it from scratch. And then that was my biggest selling product for such a long time, just because I was enjoying myself and doing, and I was working hard, and I knew it was like a kind of trendy thing when at the time Kanye West was wearing masks, and I got lucky that people loved it, and Instagram boosted my posts a lot. So, yeah, I feel like I remember you asked this question last interview, so I wonder, I don't remember what I said last time, but
if you had to put a number on it, then like how much is down to hard work, how much is down to chance, what would you say?
I remember that question. It matters what you think is success. You know, is success making $100,000? Is success making money? Is it success just being able to live? Is it success just being able to do it? So it all depends person to person. But I would say in my terms, it's tough because in my terms, I would say I'm already successful just from where I've gotten. If my younger self was looking at where I am now, he'd be like, dang, that person's successful. So I want to embody that. I feel like I am successful. But I would say 30% hard work, 70% luck.
Law of luck then, law of luck.
But it all depends on your how you view success. Because if you view success as just doing it, then it's 100% hard work and 0% luck because you're just doing.
Yeah. Okay. Final question. You know, if you had one message for everybody going out there, I know we've discussed this a couple of times now, but if you had one message for everybody watching this podcast right now, what would it be?
There is no right decision in life. We were watching Kung Fu Panda the other night. There's no good, like Master Oogway, he said, there is no good or bad news. There's just news. And I feel like that goes with decisions in life, you know. I could have gone down a completely different route, not making clothes, and still be as happy as I am now. It's just one thing you just have to say, all right, I'm going to make this decision and just see where it takes me. Yeah, there's no right or wrong decision. You just got to do. And if you keep looking back and regretting, then that's just going to be your life. You're just going to keep looking back and regretting. There's nothing, like, you want to learn from the past, but to regret something in the past, that's already done. It's about now and what you can do for the future. The more you regret, the less time you take the less time you spend in the present, just being here and enjoying the moment.
Bars, bro.
That's bars. Wait, I want to hear, I know I just said mine, but I want to hear what you would say.
I would say number one is just to do more. Do more. Do more. Do more. I don't think enough people do enough in their life. And the thing I've been doing recently is just doing more fun things, going to more places, meeting more people, and that has been the biggest thing that has really given me life over the last year or so. So, do more.
Oh yeah.
Awesome, bro. Well,
bruh. Hopefully they could hear that.
I hope they could hear that. If you can't hear it, then basically we've got a soundboard on here, and we have a bunch of different sounds. And bro was one of the sounds that's on here. So that if we're laughing at any point during this podcast, it's because the bro sound was just pressed, but you just can't hear it. But anyway,
one more time.
Bruh. Okay, so Nick, thank you very much.
I'm so thankful that I was able to be the first in-person podcast with the Sab Dog.
I know, right? this is a moment in history for anybody watching right now. If you got to the end of this podcast, make sure you send me and Nick the word pirate. Pirate, because we're in Pirate Studios right now.
Oh,
Shout out
yeah.
Pirate Studios. Pirate.com. They do like these podcast hosting, recording studios. So pirate, send me and Nick the word pirate.
And if you send me the word pirate, I'm gonna be choosing one person. I'll send you an item, an article of clothing.
Oh, okay.
Just to show that you're a real, prove that you're a real one.
I'm not going to send you anything, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. He's gonna make you a free video if.
No. Whoa. Okay.
Nah, I'm playing.
Okay, so Nick, if people want to find your stuff, they want to connect with you, where can they find you?
Instagram, Youngchickenpox. Website, naveeravern.com. It's the word never with an E at the end and the word ever with an N at the end. .com. TikTok, you can follow me there, but I don't post on there anymore. My phone number is no, I'm just kidding.
My social security
my
number.
Social security. Here's my address. Nah, but yeah, follow me on Instagram.
Well, Nick, it has been a blast.
It's been a pleasure, bro. I'm so happy.
And I can't wait. I just can't wait for the next one, bro. Is it gonna be another year? Are we gonna?
Nah, we'll be in Paris the next one. It'll be me, Sab, and Hunter Kinstu. You might have never heard of him, but he's up and coming. He's one of the most talented people I know.
Okay, shout out at Kinstu. That's KINNSTU.
Yes.
Yeah. If Hunter ever watches this, he's gonna be like, "Damn, you guys give me a shout out." Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome, bro. Well,
my boy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I love you, my boy. I'm so happy we got to meet in person.
Thank you very much, everybody, for listening and watching.
Yes.
If you want to find more podcasts, just go ahead and search The Bit Between.
On YouTube.
Not just on YouTube, just on any podcast.
Oh, wait, is it on Spotify?
Yeah, it's on Spotify, it's on Apple Podcast, it's on everything, bro.
Wow.
I got it. I got it sorted, bro.
It's on everything.
Yeah, and also follow me on Instagram at TheSabDog. TheSabDog.
Yes.
All right.
Deal double G, Sab Doggy Dog. Yes, sir. In the building. Mwah. Goodbye, everybody.